Hello, wrestling fans. Scott Diamond here. I just wanted to come out here tonight and speak to you fans. You know, Scott Diamond's been in the area working professional wrestling shows for many, many years. You folks have watched Austin Diamond grow up from a little small 4-year-old boy to now he's an 18-year-old young man. Now in the wrestling business himself. and over the years, we've had 15 Scott Diamond birthday bashes. You folks have always supported me, whether I was a good guy, bad guy, or indifferent. And, I just made my return to the ring to do a small show for some folks in southern Indiana. And so I made my first event in 4 months. I haven't been out in front of the fans. I've had a lot of phone calls and texts, of which most I didn't take or answer. People asking me, what about this deal? Austin pile driving you on a steel chair at the 15th annual Scott Diamond Birthday Bash. Sending me messages, what's up with that? Sending me messages, where have you been? How come we haven't seen you since January 3rd? And so I want to come to you tonight and just fill you in on a little bit about why, how, when, and where. Austin and I was not seeing eye to eye. He's a professional wrestler now himself and trying to make a name for himself. And quite honestly, I got to say he's doing pretty damn good, and I'm proud of him. But lo and behold, he's always been in my shadow because fortunately, I've always been surrounded with great professional wrestlers. The Diamond Cartel is a stable fashion, if you will, that was dominant all over the eastern United States, and he was always in that shadow. So I'll let him touch a little bit on that here in a moment. But apparently, he just went out at the bash and he wanted to show everybody that he was not Scott Diamond's son any longer. He was, in fact, himself. He was Austin Diamond, and he didn't want to be cast in my shadow any longer. And which I got to say, he doesn't deserve to be cast in my shadow. I had a great career, but he's going to have a great career himself. I just wish it would have went a little differently. But since I came out this evening and we done this event, we both were booked on it to work together, which at first we didn't think we were going to do. But again, as we said last week, one thing about Diamonds, when we put our name on the dotted line, we stand behind that signature. And so we were booked to work together. We went, we worked together. And through that, fortunately, I think we've worked out our differences. Um, so I think you're going to see a little more of Austin Diamond and Scott Diamond collaborating on a few things. Although I'm retired, I'm there to see that he has the best career that he can have and help line him up with some great bookings and things of this nature. Get him some contracts for some great matches. Some championship matches and things like that. But I just wanted to come on here tonight and let you fans know that I appreciate all the phone calls, the texts, and I apologize for not answering most of them. But, most of us can, I think that we can relate to family problems sometimes get you down and you just don't want to, you just don't want to be around people. You don't want to be answering a lot of questions and things like that. And that's what was going on. Austin and I were certainly having differences. We didn't speak for 2 months. Uh, he dropped me on my head. He busted me open at the very last Scott Diamond Birthday Bash. So yes, of course, I was upset. Uh, but now we have buried the hatchet, and I'm going to let Austin take it from here.
Wrestling fans, we do it all for you. Because without you, there is no us. You people give us the platform to do what we love. Without you people, there is no Scott Diamond.
That's right.
And there is no Austin Diamond. And because of that, I feel that we owe you the utmost transparency. It's no secret. I turned 18, and the first thing I did was move out. I got the hell out of Scott Diamond's house. Scott Diamond and I did not speak for months. It's no secret. Everybody knows if you've got a set of ears, you heard because there was dirty laundry and I wanted to air it out. I think that we all make mistakes. And in a business as ruthless as professional wrestling, it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
That's right.
There's a lot of animosity that gets built up between friends, between family, between brothers, between father and son. Scott Diamond was not there for my birthdays growing up. Scott Diamond did not come to my school plays. Scott Diamond didn't pat me on the back and say, "Great match, kid." He told me I needed to go out there and do better. It didn't matter if it was winning the heavyweight title at 17 years old. It didn't matter if I was wrestling on a torn meniscus or with a heart monitor. Scott Diamond was always going to be Scott Diamond. He was always going to be the manager of champions. It was not until very recently that he and I came to an understanding, and I hate that it had to happen the way that it did. But the truth of the matter, wrestling fans, is that my father was stolen from me at a young age because of this business. And there were a lot of hurt feelings, and I couldn't let that go. So I went out there and I did something unthinkable. I put Scott Diamond on his head in front of everybody at the 15th Scott Diamond birthday bash. I pile drived him on a chair and I left him leaking. Myself and my uncle, we knew exactly what we were setting out to do that night. And it makes me sick that I haven't been able to call my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, guess what I did today? Hey, Dad, guess what I saw today?" I haven't gotten to have that conversation because we didn't sit down and have this talk sooner. And wrestling fans, I hope that you see what happened here and you do what we're doing right now and you take the time to make it right, because you don't always get another chance. And Scott Diamond, I should have never let something get between us.
The bottom line now, though, is the Diamonds are united, and fans, you're going to see Austin Diamond at an arena near you, and Scott Diamond's going to be sitting in that front row, and I'm going to be cheering him on. So if you're a fan of the Diamonds and the Diamond Cartel, let me hear you.
Diamonds are forever.